Good afternoon. I actually recorded a video yesterday, but I don't know because my phone was acting weird. It was saying storage capacity full, and it was probably mainly from like my kids' pictures and don't mind my hair. I had to do a little bit of like an interview for a dance teacher. I have a video coming up and I explained that I just got an interview for a dance teacher and I went to take something back to Total Wine to get a little bit of this apple pie whiskey that you definitely want to only sip on. But anyway. But I thought that yesterday, because I also did a wine video, but my phone was acting weird, and that is also being in the process of being uploaded. But I also uploaded a video of the situation that compelled me to be talking about true crimes, talking about Chris Watts' family, and to start my channel. Even though it's not exactly like I want it to all the way fully be, but I have a lot going on. And hopefully this stays where it's at, because now I'm in my room. My other one I was doing in my kitchen. I pick between my kitchen, my room, and my living room. But anyways, this has to do with videos that have to do with my parents as well. So you may want to check them out. One is called My Day, This Is My Day, or something like that. That kind of explains some of it. Another one that explains a lot of it is why I was compelled to do the Chris Watts videos. So, this is such a complicated, long story that I'm trying to phrase it in a way that explains this short enough in case you have not been watching my videos. So, my mother and father have been married for 44 years. About the past 3 years, my mom started seeing this man that she went to work at his antique shop. The past almost year, she has been living with him. Okay, people divorce and get split up, right? No big deal. Especially no big deal nowadays, right? Well, it's a big deal because she's still married and she's doing it in front of my daughters that are 12 and about to be 15, the oldest one. I have lived on my road for almost 20 years. They have grown up here and went to school here. My parents moved here about a decade ago, I believe. So I lived here a decade before them. Okay? So they moved to my road, which they're towards this way, which there's videos that kind of talk about that too, so you might want to check them out. If not, try to keep up. So you can basically see their house from my driveway. They're like, if you're going this way, they're 3 houses down. Even though they told the judge, which we're not even in a court hearing yet, they're trying to get, it's a case conference management, they're trying to get mediation because they want to take my older daughter from me, which has been going on for years, even though my mother does not live there, and has stated to many people that she cannot stand my daughter, that she actually hates her, which that's how she is about me too, which she's also just about women. I told you it's a long, complicated story, and I'm trying to condense this because this video is not so much per se about that, but if you don't know what's going on, you can assume a lot of things or make judgment, especially if you're used to just going with the flow of listening to people's crap. Anyways, so my oldest daughter, they've always had favoritism towards, which everyone's tried to tell them that's wrong. They don't listen. So, 3 years ago, they tried to adopt her. Even though about 4 or 5 years ago, it started being where she would stay half the time and stay down here. And then they would come and try to get her, because mind you, they're only 3 houses down, so they could just walk here if she wasn't there. I always kind of thought it was weird. My mom said it was because my dad went to work and he missed out on raising me and my brother, which I understood because he did work since he was young. He retired young too, though, because he has deteriorating spine. But it's not any of that. I mean, maybe it was with them at the beginning, but the things I've been hearing from a lot of people is they've always been this way. Do you know how disheartening that is to hear? That my mom's always basically cheated on my father? That he's been okay with it? It's been their scam? Kind of like my husband says, like Bonnie and Clyde. Do you know how disheartening that is? I did hear something in the 90s in the bathroom when I was going to the bathroom. My mom was younger than I am right now. She was in her like late 30s, I believe. And I heard her talking to her friend. And this has been coming back recently. I tried to suppress this memory, I guess. But she was talking to her friend about seeing and sleeping with this guy. I literally blocked that out of my mind because nothing happened at the time. But anyways, so my dad is really close, like two peas in a pod with my older daughter. I know I'm skipping around, but I'm just trying to stay in what I'm exactly talking about while explaining. So, my mom did not like that. Come to find out, she's told a lot of people that are no longer friends with me that I have in my response and as witnesses that she cannot stand my older daughter. They think that she's jealous of my older daughter, and she doesn't know why my dad wants to be around her. Crazy this lady is. And mental illness does run in her family. That's a whole nother story. I almost feel compelled to write a book, but at the same time, I have so much going on that I don't feel like I can sit down and have the time to write it, if that makes sense. And I know this is ramblings, and no, I'm not drunk. No, I don't take pills. No, I don't do drugs. I've had a tiny bit of whiskey. I mean, barely. And I'm trying to come to terms with realizing how my parents truly are. Okay? So, now, I told you about how they kept coming up here and getting her. So then she'd be here half the time, there half the time, but I still took her to the doctors, did the dirty work, still took care of her like 80-90%. So everything was okay, but my mom and dad were always like, you don't need to go to work, you don't need to do this and that, you don't need child support, but yeah, I need money. Yeah, let that sink in your head. I don't need to go to work, I don't need child support, because yes, me and the father are split up. I am recently married to someone I've known about 7 years. We got married last year, and he is better of a father to my children than the real father. Granted, the real father is coming a long way because he's an alcoholic and has a lot of problems. No one's perfect. But, so, my mom and dad get this inkling that they should adopt my oldest daughter a couple years ago because they could supposedly get more money, because my mom is from that era, whatever, sorry, I have an accent. I can actually spell better than I pronounce words. It's very annoying. I have my bachelor's degree. I have 3 degrees actually. No, that does not make you. You still have to know common sense and streetwise. You should always be book smart, streetwise, culture-wise, all of it in one. So do not judge me because I have blonde hair. Yes, I lighten it, but I've always had blonde hair. And that does not make you stupid. That is as ignorant as saying the color of your skin determines your intelligence. It does not at all. So, then my parents dropped that because I just told them that I will give Jasmine's part for taxes. Okay? This is all to do with money. It all boils down with money. Money is the root of all evil. Even family will turn against you over it. But you know, it's made me a stronger person, so I'll give them that. Of course, my battery's low, so let me try to get this done as fast as I can. So they dropped that because I give them, for a couple years, the tax return of Jasmine's. Well, somehow, even though their father's never paid child support since he's had a child support case for 10 years, but maybe out of the whole time, a year and a half. Maybe. And when I went back to modify it, his parents actually got tired of him because he lives with his parents, and they said that he must go to work or he gets kicked out. Thank God. Because my parents won't even do that to my brother that's 41, about to be 42 in March. Yeah, not about to be, but you know what I mean. He lives there and doesn't work. But, mind you, they have my older daughter around that. They try to keep her around that. And they think that they're going to get tax credits. When my dad and mother make like $40-something thousand a year, you might get something, but you don't get tax credits for that. I've been doing my taxes since I was 18. I also took a course in taxes after I had already been doing my taxes. They don't listen to me, though. You want to know why they don't listen to me? Because of the stereotypical shit that America puts on looks. No, I'm older now. I have my hair up. I barely have any makeup on. I don't have fake fingernails. I'm not fake. Blah, blah, blah. I get carded a lot. And I shouldn't get carded because I'm like 23 years older than being carded. But I do. Sometimes I do not, because a lot of the times people know me because I do promos in these places. The moment I go somewhere I don't know them, they will card me. Not that that matters. Because at times I feel like I can be 100 years old because of what I know, and at times I feel 18 years old. Age is but a number. So they decide, my mom decides, because during Christmas of 2018, her friend that she's been friends with since 12 got really aggravated with her again and talked to me, and she said, she got a hold of me and she was like, "You were so right. I should have stayed away from your mother." And I was like, well, I knew it was a matter of time. And we all agree that we think something's wrong with her. Something's not right. So I try to tell my dad, my mom's friend tries to tell my dad, that they're laughing at him and seeing each other. He's like, no. The man that my mom sees is named Jim. He's like, no, Jim is gay. No, he's not. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but no, he's not. Because believe me, I had to get some text messages from my mom's friend that definitely clarify that they're not just friends and that he's not gay. That was the most disturbing thing to come across. Anyway, so she gets mad because my mom's friend has pictures and videos of them kissing to try to show my dad what's going on. Because my mom's friend tells her, pick one. Pick Lewis or pick Jim. And my mom got mad and blew up at her. So it was Christmas Day, yes. And my dad and my mom tried to get a hold of me. So I tell her I know what's going on and I send her the videos. She starts getting pissed. I walk down to his house after me and the girls open our gifts here because that's what we go and do. He says to me, after I have tons of presents for them, not that it matters, but it's the thought, why are you even down here? And I'm like, because we're family, and my oldest daughter is down here a lot, and we're family, and it's Christmas. Well, I thought he was in denial, but he literally is going along with this for money. Because the man my mom's seeing has property and money. And the man my mom's seeing is also the one that filled out her summons to me. Filled out like this 15 pages summons to me. Yes, her boyfriend. That my dad signed. So now they're trying to do temporary custody. And just because their father has been working for about a year, they think they're owed child support and retro child support. So when we first went to court around May 13th, the father didn't show up because he didn't get served papers. So then we went yesterday, July 8th. He didn't show up because my parents were supposed to legally have him served, and they did not. My mom tried to argue with the judge about that. The judge said he has to be served legally, which we talk because my youngest daughter goes there every other weekend. My oldest daughter just no longer goes there. I think the last time she went there was Hurricane Irma, because that's another long story, but they basically ended that. Yep. People can do things. If you're a single mom at the time, your kids don't have the same last name as you because they have their father's name, they will be, at least in this area where I'm at in Florida, they will be all over you to be proving that you're the mother. But of course, when something happens, like my older daughter getting in trouble, they come directly to the mother. So, yesterday he did not show up because he didn't get legally served. So, I come home. My youngest daughter is at a STEM program in July, and she asks me what happened. And I told her that your father did not show up, but he's not in trouble because he didn't get legally served. And that your grandparents tried to say, I do not see Jasmine or erase her. And that she's like, well, let me go. I'm like, they're not going to let you go. At least not at this point. It's only case conference management and then mediation. Do you know what she proceeds to tell me? That my father told her one day when she said, well, one day a woman's going to be president. He said, a woman will never be president. A woman's place is in the home, in the kitchen. Well, I knew they were old-fashioned and racist and bigot and whatever you want to call it. And yes, they do like Trump. And no, I didn't vote. And no, I'm not Republican or Democratic. Whatever. I'm independent. And I really think they put who they want to put in there. And I don't really want to go in this with Trump. But I kind of do. You want to know why I kind of do want to go in this with Trump? Because his hate, yes, his hate, and his talk against women usually coincides with how someone's racist and how they think women are below them. Listen, this is almost 2020. I've almost had my motherfucking house for 20 years, and I've done it mainly by myself, and I've went to school and got 3 degrees. No, I'm not a millionaire. No, I don't have an exact career, but I get paid pretty well to still be around my kids. And these son of a bitches let my brother, that's 41, live there and pay nothing. He does not drive because he's had 2 or 3 DUIs. He does not pay for his twin boys' child support at all. He doesn't even pay down to his toilet paper, but they're freaking telling me I need to pay them because they choose for my younger daughter to be down there. Now, she's almost 15. So a lot of you that have kids know how hard it is to have teenagers. And if you have someone not on the same page as you and letting them take advantage of a situation, they will run with it. So we go again on August 12th, the first day of school. Isn't that great? No, not really. Because I could have a chance that I was supposed to be working that day. But because I have not laid down $3,000 for a lawyer, someone can just take me and sue me and say whatever. I know. Innocent until proven guilty. Nope. Guilty until proven innocent. And if you've seen that movie, The Best of Enemies, definitely gives me an idea. And I don't want anyone to steal this idea because this is my idea of how hard it's been to try to be a 21st century mother, single most of the time with 2 daughters, trying to raise them strong and right and show them that everybody's expecting them to be equal, but not in all the ways. that are supposed to be equal. You want to know what I say to my parents? This is what I want to say to them. You might not see the change. You may not be here for the change, but it is not going to go in your favor forever. There will be a woman president one day, just like there was a black and white, because he was mixed, president. Now, has there been a solely black president? No. That's going to happen too. You want to know why? You expect all of us to pay bills and do everything and be equal. So, bitch, that's the way we're going to be equal too. Get over yourself, evolve, go read a book, go take a class, and go realize that you are wrong. No matter what you think, you are wrong. And one day, might be on your deathbed, you shall see that you are wrong. Keep your head up. Women, people of different colors, races, or anyone feeling down like people are going to just keep you down and keep you beneath them. No one is better, no one is greater, and you remember that.